Hey, and welcome to another Tech Tuesday. This is Chad from Ascension Worship. This week I want to do a really quick update from a camp that we're at right now and show you guys the current version of our DIY LED panels. So we have currently now doubled our number of panels. So we have 16 of them total. If you haven't watched the previous videos, these are completely DIY. We made them in the shop. It's really hard to tell unless you're behind here, but this is just pegboard that you can buy at like Lowe's or Home Depot or someplace like that. We drilled out the holes and pushed through WS2011 pixels that you can just buy on Amazon. So there are 200 per panel. And then, so with 16 of them, that's 3,200 pixels, which is about 9,600 DMX channels, or about 24 universes. It's really fun. And it looks better the further you are away. So in the back of the room, it starts to actually like become real obvious what the image is that you're playing. I'll show in a moment, but we're currently using a program called MadMapper and using some free video files that we found on pexels.com, and it's doing a really good job overall, but there's definitely some things that we learned along the way. So a couple quick things that I think will be helpful for anyone who is looking to do this. Current version of this behind here, I'm not going to show it because the cables are a mess, but there are 2 power supplies per side, each one powering 4 of the panels, and with shorter cables. And then in the center we have longer cables for data. So we have an Avitech PixLite 4. PixLite 4 can send 8 outputs, so we're sending 4 per side, and then these are in pairs. So we'll go into one and then use a jumper cable to send data to the other, but each one gets its own power, so that we're not overtaxing our power supplies. You'll notice we also have our Pixel tape running. This is also hooked up to a separate Avitech player. Sorry, that light's in the way. Our lighting operator this week said, hey, let's throw those on the software as well. So they're also playing a video across them. The same video, just stretched out differently. So yeah, that's how we're controlling everything. Everything's networked to our computers in the back. So let me show you that now. And by the way, here is how it looks like from the front row. You can see the further back you get, the more obvious what the video file is that you're playing. So much fun. So here we are at front of house where we have our lighting computers. Before we had just this single computer running Campsys for all of our lights and the panels. And Campsys actually does a really good job, especially considering you can do it with the free version of controlling a lot of pixels. However, we found that with Campsys, and this was the computer we were running out before, it's an older Dell touchscreen PC. When we do things on the pixel mapper, like slow down a video, it would cause Campsys to crash. And it would take a little while to go up. And I realized it wasn't smart for us to have all of our eggs in one basket. I didn't want one computer and one programming controlling the lights and the panels. If the panels crashed, at least the lights would still work until we brought up the computer. So we moved from the old Dell onto this newer Dell for Campsys running lighting, and it's just doing our LED fixtures, but not any of the panels or the strips. That is running through this computer, running an instance of MadMapper. Now we have tried Resolume, Resolume Arena, our Chaos Grand VJ, Campsys, and now MadMapper. Thanks to James Tucker from Nito Design. If you don't follow James, you need to follow James at Nito Design. James mentioned MadMapper, and I checked it out. And again, this computer is not crazy powerful. It's kind of the entry-level touchscreen PC you can just buy from Best Buy. but it seems to be handling the best of those 4 different programs I mentioned. Also, it's cheaper than at least than Resolume, which is my first choice before I found out about MadMapper. There's definitely some weird eccentricities to it, but it seems to work really well. We program in different lighting scenes down here, and because both these computers are on the same network, we can use our Campsys computer to control the Resolute or the MadMapper computer. So Campsys will fire the cues that will select what scene is being played, and then we also have some control over the overall brightness and RGB color of what's going out. So it seems to be working pretty well. We just finished the first night of camp here, and yeah, really happy with it. So we found these videos on pexels.com. That's PEXELS.com, and they have a bunch of free motion graphics. Most of them are like 4K videos, which again can be hard to play on this cheaper computer. So we just go through QuickTime and drop them down to like 480p, and considering the resolution of the panels, you really can't tell that it's lower resolution on those, and it makes the computer run easier. So there you have it. That is the latest update on the panels. Really happy with them so far. If I had to do it over again, right now, again, we have 2 power supplies per side, and then we have an Advotech controller in the middle sending out data, just because of what we had available and try to keep cable run short. If I had to do it over again, I think I would get something that can have 8 outputs, like maybe like a Falcon controller, with the power going through the controller at each side of the wall instead of trying to send data separately. The only major issue we've had is that randomly we'll lose blue pixels and I have to replace the pixel when it goes bad. I think that's because maybe without going through the Advotech controller or Falcon controller, I think maybe the pixels weren't getting the power regulated properly. So in Advotech, we went through and changed it to where the pixels wouldn't do more than 67% output. And it didn't seem to change the image very much, if at all. But so far, it seems like we're having less of that issue. So I'm hoping that's what the problem was. Also, we're trying 2 different types of tape. One is from a company called Alatove. You can buy them on Amazon, and you can buy them in bulk for a little bit cheaper. The other brand, I won't say the name. We've had good results with them with our LED strips, but we're having less quality control. We're having more quality control issues with the pixels from that other brand. So I'll just say, of the ones I've tried so far, Alatove is the way you want to go. Again, you can get that on Amazon, and you can get it in bulk when you have this many pixels. So eventually I'll probably go through and replace the other wall with the Alatove pixels. But those are the biggest things that I would change if we were doing it over again. But it's a lot of fun. If you're thinking of doing it, there's definitely a learning curve with understanding the wiring and how to connect everything. But the actual construction of the panels is not that difficult. Again, it's just pegboard, painted it black. We drilled the holes deeper where we wanted to have holes, pushed through the pixels and hot glued them to where they need to be. Like I said, the wiring is more the thing we need expertise on that. So if you're interested in knowing more, let me know. Usually the algorithm doesn't make these videos have a lot of reach if they're not about like an X32 or a wing. So that's why I don't do a whole lot of lighting videos, but I wouldn't mind doing it if I saw people were interested in doing it. Or if it's something that you would want us to come out to your church and to help you to set up, you could just gather some of the dads at your church that are handy, and we could set up an assembly line, and we'll help you guys to build them. You can buy all the materials yourself, and then we'll just come through and help you understand the wiring and get the computer set up and all that kind of stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, you can reach out to us at techtuesday@ascensionworship.com, and I'd love to help you out with that if that's something you're interested in. All right, guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and until next time, have a great week. Again, this is Chad from Ascension Worship. I hope this has been helpful for you and your team. Come back here every Tuesday for new information.